Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Uncle Frank, and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, we'll start this one off with some breaking news. President Joe Biden drops out of 2024 presidential race. Next, we will cover which Democrat Satan will choose to run at the upcoming Democratic Convention in Chicago on August 19th. B of A might be up this month, but the old man is selling. Berkshire sells close to $1.5 billion of Bank of America shares. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway sold about 34 million shares of B of A for $1.48 billion, according to a public filing Friday. What's that mean? Berkshire still owns more than 998 million shares, valued at over $42 billion, making the conglomerate one of the bank's largest shareholders, according to Bloomberg data. Bank of America stock has risen 7.9% in the month to date. This is what's going on this weekend. The S&P is incredibly dangerous. Why Warren Buffett's favorite valuation indicator is flashing a warning for stocks. The Buffett indicator is indicating U.S. stocks might be overvalued. The indicator was coined by Warren Buffett and measures the total U.S. market cap to GDP. If the ratio approaches 200%, as it did in 1999 and part of 2000, you are playing with fire, Buffett said in a 2001 Fortune article. Warren Buffett's favorite stock market valuation indicator just hit a record high, signaling that stocks might be highly overvalued. The Buffett indicator, which measures the total market cap of U.S. stocks relative to U.S. GDP, hit an all-time peak of 200% on Monday, surpassing the record high of 197% reached in November of 2021. So, Uncle Frank, why are you bringing this up now? Because my subscribers will know that GDP comes out this Thursday. That's the same day Ripple meets with the SEC. That's the same day the early fan event occurs for Deadpool Wolverine. Uncle Frank is Captain Chaos. He's looking for Swan events, so anarchy is his friend sometimes. The U.S. stock market's total market cap is about $55 trillion, measured by the Wilshire 5000. It's about double the size of annualized U.S. GDP, which is about $27 trillion. The stock market experienced a painful year-long bear market shortly after the Buffett indicator peaked in November of 2021. Buffett called the indicator probably the best single measure of where valuations stand at any given moment. When the indicator reached an unprecedented level during the 2000 dot-com bubble of about 190%, that should have been a very strong warning signal. We're at 197% now, kiddies. Here's one of Uncle Frank's favorite indicators, Mark Spitznagel. They only wheel this guy out when they're scared. From Fortune, Black Swan investor warns the greatest bubble in human history is about to pop, and stocks could lose more than half their value. He's always the life of the party. But what if Mark Spitznagel and the Buffett indicator are right this time? What if artificial intelligence doesn't save the day? Do you have your list of favorite assets to buy if a correction comes along? Have you looked at the weekly and monthly charts to see which levels you could see support or a bounce at? There's a lot of nasty shit coming out this weekend, so I'm expecting some volatility soon. From the Daily Hodl Saturday, B of A, Citi, and Goldman report $4 billion, $139 million in losses as U.S. lenders witness major spike in unrecoverable debt. I guess it's safe to say that's a realized loss. In its latest earnings report, Citi said its net credit losses, which are debts the firm does not expect to collect, hit $2.2 billion in Q2 of this year alone. The figure represents a nearly $780 million increase from the $1.5 billion in delinquent debts recorded during the same quarter of 2023. Meanwhile, B of A says its net charge-offs reached $1.5 billion in Q2 of 2024, a 66% rise from the $900 million witnessed in Q2 of 2023. As for Goldman, the lender says its net charge-offs hit $359 million last quarter. Other banking giants in the U.S. are also reporting massive losses due to debts that have soured. JP Morgan said it lost $2.2 billion last quarter due to uncollected debts, while Wells Fargo recorded $1.3 billion in net charge-offs in Q2 of this year. Back in May, the Fed Reserve Bank of New York raised the alarm on the rising levels of U.S. household debt, and Uncle Frank covered it. Okay, guys, Adam tweeted about Twisters and Deadpool Wolverine on Friday. Summer movie lovers, 2 more huge movies open in July at AMC in the U.S. and Odeon in Europe. Universal's Twisters, starring Glenn Powell, opens tonight. That meant Friday, July 19th. Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine, starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, opens Friday, July 26th. Both will be hits. Get your tickets now. What I'm looking for here by the end of this week is a real shift in sentiment, not just for AMC, but for the entire industry. One thing the predatory short hedge funds can't control is when an entire industry changes its attitude about its prospects going forward. So I'm looking for the entertainment and financial press to say movies and theaters are back. After Deadpool, Wolverine, right? The entire industry has turned the corner. The pandemic and strikes are now finally behind us. The shorts will still plant hit pieces in the financial press, but if Deadpool and Wolverine can create a paradigm shift, the way the entire industry is perceived, that would be big for studios, exhibitors, Cinemark, IMAX, Disney, and yes, even AMC. This is a nice start from Sunday morning, 7:37 a.m. The Hollywood Reporter, box office. Twisters whips up huge storm with record $80.5 million domestic opening. The film marks the biggest start ever for a natural disaster pick and is the latest summer event movie to exceed forecasts. That's a good start. What I'm looking for here is momentum in the space that the predatory short hedge funds can't control. From Deadline, Twisters powers to seismic 80 million plus, Oppenheimer-like opening. Sunday AM box office update. From the New York Times, guys, Twisters takes off at the box office. The disaster movie was on pace to sell roughly 80 million in tickets in North America over the weekend. 60% more than expected. Just keep it going. We couldn't ask for a better start to this week. From Screen Rant, Twisters box office destroys early projections by near double. Easily tops original 1996 movie. Now, guys, stay with me because I know many of you believe fundamentals don't matter in this play, but I'm not looking for just AMC to do well here. I'm looking for a complete shift away from the past for the entire industry, something the hedgies can't sweep under the rug. Just headline after headline outside of their control and influence. While the market is digesting the success of Twister this week, now we throw another punch. The Deadpool and Wolverine opening day fan event on Thursday, July 25th. This is where 3 million apes can make a difference. This is where the momentum builds when they see advanced ticket sales blowing up. Please share this video on your social media. And remember, CEOs and boards come and go, but AMC has survived many terrible events worse than the hedgies and Adam Aron for over 100 years. From People magazine in May, Ryan Reynolds debuts funny Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket to follow Dune 2's viral sandworm bucket. We need to be firing on every cylinder this week, and that includes movie merchandise. From the article, Ryan Reynolds is launching the War of the Popcorn Buckets. The producer star of Deadpool's upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine teased a new product for the movie's fans. A rival of AMC Theaters' viral Dune Part 2 Sandworm popcorn bucket. Quote, Years from now, they will look back at 2024 as the year of the war of the popcorn buckets began. Hashtag history, hashtag Deadpool and Wolverine, wrote Reynolds, 47, in posts to his social media and YouTube. Also, viral Dune Part 2 sandworm buckets were being resold for over $800 online. Hopefully, this bucket can get that kind of buzz. The popcorn bucket was covered by Variety 2. Deadpool and Wolverine unveils sexual Dune-inspired popcorn bucket. Now we need people fighting in the lobby to buy one. From the article, Move Over Dune, there's a new bangable popcorn bucket in town. Ryan Reynolds has revealed the new popcorn bucket created for Deadpool and Wolverine on social media Thursday, and the video is just as inappropriate as you'd expect from the R-rated superhero. Hopefully, we can count on Ryan to continue to promote the film and the bucket. That tweet of his from Friday got 4.6 million views. So let me show you guys what I'm looking for here. There are no serious releases on Monday, but we will have positive headlines from Twisters. I also believe the Hedgies will ramp up the hit pieces, right? Okay. Tuesday, July 23rd, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, we'll get S&P Flash U.S. Services and Manufacturing PMI. Jump forward to Thursday, July 25th, 8:30 a.m., GDP and initial jobless claims. Also, the SEC versus Ripple rescheduled meeting is scheduled for that day, and that's the Deadpool and Wolverine early fan event. I'm hoping for big headlines, big advanced ticket sales, sold out popcorn buckets, all that, right? Now, Friday, July 26th, 8:30 a.m., personal income and spending, but PCE. This is going to be the most watched PCE of this year, okay, because it could influence the upcoming rate cut. Of course, that's the day Deadpool and Wolverine drop, and it's options expiration day. What I'm hoping for is a black or white swan to land right in the middle of all of it. What do I mean specifically? Maybe an announcement from Ryan Cohen about the future of GameStop, something like that. Now, that following Monday, July 29th, the box office results will be in. We will have an entire weekend of Deadpool and Wolverine updates, headlines, and by Monday, okay, what I'm hoping for is a complete paradigm shift on the view of the industry. I want the independent press to say, hey, the pandemic is behind us. The strikes are behind us. The theater, movie business, all of it, the whole thing has turned the corner, right? And this is literally the day before the Fed meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday, right? So what I'm looking for is if you see that green circle around that time window, I'm looking for a swan, like completely unexpected, good news or bad news, something that distracts the hedgies from just the meme space, right? I want them dealing with other problems elsewhere. I want resources drawn away from holding down GME, holding down AMC, holding down meme stocks like Highcroft and Mullen and things like that. I want something that draws their resources away and then some FOMO buying to come in. Okay, this is not investment advice. I am not an investment advisor. I will never tell you to buy, sell, or hold any stock or cryptocurrency. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. This is just my opinion, and these are the things I'm looking for to turn this trade around. Isn't it nice to finally own a stock that isn't shit on every day by Investor Place? Next big thing, 3 breakthrough flying car stocks to own. These flying car companies are seeing big boosts in industrial sectors. These companies are pioneering advancements in the flying car industry, driven by strong top-line growth and strategic regulatory milestones. First, they mentioned Blade Air Mobility. The company has delivered considerable growth so far and a massive rise in adjusted EBITDA. Archer Aviation. It aims to produce a market-ready aircraft with FAA certification to address urban congestion. And then they mention Ehang Holdings. The Chinese company has achieved major certification milestones for its EH216S model. Wow, Kenny's all over the place lately like he's Kim Kardashian. IRS apologizes to billionaire Ken Griffin for leaking his tax records. Ken Griffin's Citadel to acquire energy trader in first Japan deal. Ken Griffin gives over $20 million to U.S. Republican fundraising committees. Billionaires Elon Musk and Ken Griffin donate $100,000 each to victims of Trump rally shooting. Citadel CEO Ken Griffin just bought a $45 million dinosaur. Billionaire Ken Griffin lists Gold Coast condo for $11 million. Yeah, that Chicago guy's good. Kenny, get out and stay out of my town. Guys, have you taken a close look at Kenny lately? He's only 55. Kenny, you're supposed to adopt a healthy lifestyle when you move to Florida, bro. You look like you're mainlining highballs and Adderalls, yo. You only win because you cheat, bitch. Your clients would be better off parking their money in an index fund than with Citadel. Don't envy this guy and all his billions until you see how it ends, guys. But as far as criminal geniuses go, I've got to hand it to Kenny. I'm from Chicago, and I know organized crime when I see it. So we all know Kenny owns Citadel Securities, which is really 4 hedge funds: Wellington, Citadel Global, Tactical Trading. You might know those guys personally from finding their dick in your ass on occasion, and Fixed Income and Macro. Then we all know Kenny also is one of the largest market makers in the world, right? And then there's Citadel Connect, which is the ATS or dark pools. That's a service that provides access to unregistered dark pools that are not subject to FINRA or SEC reporting regulations, so you can imagine why it's so popular. How you can be all 3 of these things at once is a profound mystery to me. I hope Donahue George can kick a hole in it in court. Then add the conflict of payment for order flow, and I can't see how Kenny could possibly lose. But Kenny has been busy branching out. Kenny invested in EDX Markets, a crypto exchange with Fidelity, Virtu, and Schwab. Kenny is also in regional retail banking now. He owns a chunk of New York Community Bancorp with Steve Mnuchin. And I'm sure you heard Kenny now owns a chunk of the new Texas Stock Exchange alongside BlackRock. But Kenny also has a man on the ground everywhere he needs one. He's got David Ings at the DTCC. He's got his head of execution services, Joe McCain, on the Limit Up, Limit Down committee. He's got Josh Woods, Citadel's chief technology officer, on the board of the OCC. That's the world's largest equity derivatives clearing organization. He's got Kelly McGrath on the ground in Virginia. Her title is simply Government Affairs, so you can guess what that's about. You guys already know how Kenny spreads the money around everywhere. That's why the little guys get busted and Kenny goes free with a small fine and resumes cheating immediately. Like when Kenny paid $800,000 in speaking fees to current Secretary of the Treasury Janet Yellen during 2018 and 2020 while she was not in office. So she's got Kenny's back in that branch. Kenny and Citi gave head SEC attorney Berkovitz $2 million in work while he was in private practice just before he got to the SEC. So if you really want to know why Kenny ran wild on Wall Street during that time, well, now you know. Anyway, I see you, Kenny. You're a regular Dr. No or Spectre from the Bond movies. But I suggest you go watch those movies again because the villain always loses in the end. So guys, this headline from Sunday sums it all up perfectly. Stock market faces crucial test. Can summer rally continue without big tech? The big days to watch on AMC are Thursday the 25th, Friday the 26th, and Monday the 29th. Watch XRP ahead of the meeting with the SEC on Thursday the 25th. On my correction wish list are ACHR, GUT, AMIX, ACMR, HUMA, and DMRC. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.